let's make some money. In particular, we're going to be looking at Kamino and how incentivized pools can be decent in the short term. I'm not a financial advisor. What I'm doing is just sharing DeFi tutorials, essentially, how to do something, what I'm personally doing, mistakes I'm making, things I'm doing right, etc. So let's dive in. So a friend in Portugal, who I don't know how to pronounce his Twitter handle, Kirisip, says the USC Sol has great incentives right now on Kamino, 40% plus APY in USC. So let's have a look at this. So before I dive in, I want to remind people of a couple of things to not make some mistakes that I've been making. The mistake is, this is a tutorial wallet, this is a Jupiter portfolio, is to basically be aware of what tokens are aware, to sell tokens when they're no longer part of your thesis. And there's a major pivot in the channel, and basically it's like we're going DeFi. We're going DeFi. We're aiming just to push the portfolio up, and good luck to all the builders out there. So this is showing me like this amount at portfolio.jupiter.ag, and then Step Finance is showing me more. This may be counting NFTs and whatnot, but basically a big issue it kind of presented is I have, this is very nice actually, Step Finance. Does Jupiter portfolio do this? It just says out of range. Okay, this is well done. They've been improving their portfolio tracker. This shows that things are out of range and they shouldn't be out of range. They're not earning any yield. We need to work out, we need to be more vigilant. I need to be more vigilant. So I've got some different pools set up. I'm going to very quickly just touch on this. Stick with me. This is FAF. This is Flash Trade's token. I think Flash Trade could potentially do well, but I'm not here to talk about tokens. If you believe in it, you can. Essentially, all I want to say is if you have a Flash Beast, go to their Discord, work out how you can burn it for the token. So I set up a system to buy if it dips. And it's dipped a little bit. I've earned a little bit in fees, nothing crazy. But I'm going to take those fees. I may be slightly down. Let's reconnect here. I may be slightly down, but I'm confident I'm going to be okay. Some trading fees are good, and I'm going to go and swap that FAF just because I want some SOL, and I'm going to confirm, and I'm going to take that like that. FAF is like the token. You can see it has a very small number of holders, and it's not burnt, and there's no mint. It's set up as a proper token. It's not going to be good for degens, but it is the governance token for Flash Trade. It's at a low market cap like this, it would be something that I would look into. We're going to have a look. Jupe Sol, like these have not performed well. Gold, this was a silly mistake I've made. So I'm going to withdraw this. It was fine to jump in because, you know, the price came up, but then I should have just jumped out. Like, you got to watch your positions. So swap that gold at a significant loss. I won't bother showing. And that should be pretty much enough for me to jump in and work out what it is I want to do. Jupe and Sol is probably going to improve. Trump Sol, I'm not bullish on this. Withdraw, close. You can be, you're welcome to be, but we're just here to change the way that we've been doing things and to go and make some gains. All right, so now let's head over to Kamino. Let's check out this incentivized pool. The quick detour was just a reminder just to track where liquidity is. When you lose liquidity, you have to find where liquidity is. So we come here and we click on liquidity. And we want to see these incentivized pools. So up the top here, we can just type in USC, and this is the current APY. Now this is decent because if we flick on back to Meteora, go to the portfolio, minimize this. I'm setting this dynamic pool and I'm earning this yield, which is currently at like 10%, essentially. And that's just 10% a year is just silly. It's slightly outperforming staking with none of the upside in the price appreciation of Solana. So sometimes it goes higher, but I don't think it's worth doing. So I'm going to pull that all out. It's all over, and we're going to check out this. Now I'm going to be very, very particular with what I'm saying here. This, I think, is worth doing while the incentives are there, and I'm unsure how long the incentives will go for. So I'm going to check it, and I'm going to remind people. I'm going to put it on the calendar, but you also have to check it. If you've got a position somewhere, you need to check and see. Once once the incentives are taken away, then it's no longer worth it. 51% for USC and Sol is decent. Another good reason why we could go into USC and Sol, Euro, basically Euro, is the US dollar is being debased by the tariff system, by Trump's administration. It's deliberate because it's far better overall for the economy, is what their belief is, right? So I'm going to jump in here. Sometimes what you have to work out is you have to work out how much it wants, because it's not always exactly 50-50. So like, for example, if we put in 50 euros, it wants significantly more Sol for this. So that's what we have to keep in mind. And these fees are decent for maybe another few weeks, and then we pull on out. And this is a good thing to do before we get into more Meteor stuff, which is far more like hands-on. This is more like set it, forget it, revisit it in a week. Of course, there's impermanent loss, divergence loss. All right, so flick over to dupe, or you can do an in-app swap or whatever you want to do, but we'll go to dupe. You know what? We can actually just use the swap menu right here. Swap, because Kamino swap is also very legit. All right, and I do have a referral link. I'll put it below. And we'll swap all of this and approve. And then what else do we have that we don't really need? Like, I don't know if Maneki's ever going to do anything. I think meme coins, they pump, they dump, and maybe Bonk and Fartcoin, a couple others maybe outperform. Opinion only. What else do we have? Dupe, I'm just going to go and stake that. I think it's too low to sell, to be perfectly honest. Got a small amount of grass and nothing really else here. Got some JLP. I'll sell the JLP. The JLP is good, but I want to show you in this tutorial. Perfect. So now we click max. We've got enough Sol, we've got enough USC, deposit and stake, and approve. Now, obviously, this is a small amount of funds. We're not going to reach millionaire status by this, but this is still decent. We've got incentives plus the trading fees. The trading fees will go automatically into the liquidity pool. They're just auto compound, and then the incentives will be able to claim this as soon as it goes up. There's no point in claiming it until it's like $1 or more, but just that's what we can do. So that's a basic thing of what you can have a look out for on Kamino. Kamino's kind of set it and forget it. It's decent when there's incentives, and when the incentives are taken away, it's not worth doing, to be perfectly honest. It's far better off using Meteor. However, Meteor, you have to be more hands-on. That's everything. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, let me know why. Give me some feedback. Let's make some money. Not financial advice, but DeFi is the biggest use case for crypto, essentially. That's all for this video. Subscribe, check out these videos. Catch you in the next one.